Central. All right, so welcome to Monday Motivation. I'm glad you're here, whether you're catching me live or watching the replay. Thank you for showing up for yourself today. I'm Terry Stirk. I am your wellness coach and an author. I hope today's discussion resonates with you. I love reading your comments and knowing that we can get through difficult times together. So please comment and ask questions all you want. Today we're diving into something I think we all need, and that's staying unbothered. We are hit with negative situations all the time, but we need to stay unbothered to protect our peace. Because let's be real, life gets noisy, people get messy, and if we're not careful, we can let that negativity turn us upside down and steal our peace. But not today. We're going to learn some coping techniques that can help us. So drop a heart in the comments if you're ready to reclaim your peace and stand strong in your energy and not let others take it from you. So let's talk about what being unbothered really means. It's not about ignoring life's challenges or pretending negativity doesn't exist. It's about choosing how you respond. It's about not allowing every opinion, every bad vibe, or every setback to take up emotional rent in your mind. Imagine you're the CEO of your life. Okay? So would you let just anyone into your boardroom, or would you be a little more particular about that? The same goes for your energy. Why do we let other people take our energy? Sometimes we call them energy vampires. Being unbothered means you stand tall in your truth, knowing that outside noise doesn't define your worth or it doesn't define your path. So comment peace if you're claiming your own energy today and that no one else can have it. We all deal with difficult people, situations, or our own bad habits. Do you find yourself triggered by a negative comment from a friend, a family member, a neighbor, or a Facebook post? Have you been disappointed by a friend or a family member who did not support you? Or perhaps you didn't handle an interaction very well, so you are left with relationship issues that you need to resolve or you're unable to resolve. I've dealt with all of these, as I imagine most of you have too. So how do we rise above negativity? Let's talk about how to actually stay unbothered. When faced with challenging situations, our instinct is often just to dive right in. We've got to solve this problem. Whether it's drama, conflict, rejection, disappointment, or some other, some significant life change. We tend to get bogged down and immersed in negativity. It's a challenging position to be in, and our goal is to avoid getting pulled under by someone else's anguish or someone else's unfriendliness or unkindness. or a situation that just throws a curveball at us. So let's start with the first tip and to remaining unbothered. And that's called zoom out, or at least that's what I call it. Zooming out and detaching. It is a concept I've been embracing in my life this year in 2025, and it has truly transformed my perspective. It's been very helpful. Whenever something unexpected happens that distresses us, the first step is to zoom out and observe the situation from a distance. This perspective change helps us detach from the immediate emotional turmoil and recognize it as an opportunity for growth. So, what do I mean by zoom out? Think of it like being at a movie theater, or you're watching a great movie on TV at home. We've all experienced that immersive feeling when watching a great movie that we love and enjoy, where you become so engaged that you lose sight of everything around you. That happens to me. Or maybe you're just reading a really good book and you're just not even focused on anybody else. But then something pulls you out of that immersive experience. A sneeze, the crinkling of a candy wrapper, or some other noise. In that moment, you remember you're just an audience member. You're just someone watching the movie, and that tension in your body starts to dissipate. Movie theaters encourage us to silence our phones for this very reason. They want to be able to maintain that immersive experience. Then you feel the stress of the actors, even though it's all pretend. It's a movie or it's a book. Likewise, when you face challenges or tests in your life, employing a similar strategy of zooming out can be incredibly beneficial. By stepping back and observing the situation from a distance, you can regain a sense of control. You realize that you have the power to choose how to interpret what's happening and how to respond. One practical approach to managing these distressing moments is to take a step back and realize these are experiences that are tests in our lives. How are we going to handle this experience? Like a math test in school, our reaction wasn't or shouldn't be to panic or avoid. Instead, we sit down and face the test head on. We prepare for it in advance. It's often said the only way out is through. So we can't just ignore a test, just as we can't ignore something negative or a bad situation. Embracing this mindset allows us to welcome the challenge, knowing that going through it can lead to personal strength and resilience. So the first coping technique is zooming out. Another one that I like to, or that I've latched on to this year, is about finding the pearl. It's another way of looking at bad situations to find the goodness that can come out of it. But finding the pearl is after you've taken that step back and recognized it as a test. The second tip for remaining unbothered is to look for the pearl within the challenge. This strategy is about finding the lessons or the insights that each experience can provide. By focusing on the positives, we not only navigate the distress, but also grow from it. Let's discuss the concept of pearls. Pearls are formed when an irritant enters a mollusk, like an oyster. In response, the oyster secretes nacre. This is the iridescent substance that forms the inner layer of some shells. It's commonly known as mother of pearl, which maybe you've heard of. It coats the irritant, transforming something bothersome into something beautiful. Can't we do the same thing in our lives, just like an oyster? I believe that everything works out for the greater good, as God tells us in Scripture. God works all things for good to those who believe and love Him. When facing challenges, try to find the underlying purpose. Why is this happening? Why are they saying that? Or whatever it is. The reason may not be clear initially, but with time, lessons often reveal themselves. In my own life, I've encountered numerous trials that seemed senseless or discouraging at the time, yet later I recognized their significance. Maintaining a positive outlook, even in a difficult moment, can help you endure and stay calm. Remember, something good will come from every challenge. The final step is to remain unbothered, is to take the high road and keep a positive mindset. Focus on your journey to a bright future. When adverse events happen, I tend to focus on how to overcome and grow from them. For instance, I recently had revision surgery to correct some reconstruction concerns. And although I had planned for the surgery well in advance, I knew I was going to rest and eat healthy to get through it. I found myself focused on the future. I wanted to get back to you, back to writing, back to my normal. These are feelings I had when I went through breast cancer before. And surgery brought me back to those times, even though it had been 12 years. So my point with that story is that even though it had been a long time since I've had my reconstruction surgery or my cancer treatments, it all comes flooding back when circumstances trigger those feelings. But having a mindset to focus on my journey and to understand that my future would be bright again, having this mindset helped me to handle disappointment and rejection. Instead of feeling defeated, I embraced the idea that I could find a path to success. When facing hardships, it's important to acknowledge your feelings and create an action plan for moving forward. Instead of focusing on the despair that you feel, consider focusing on your passions or your personal growth or what you'll learn from this situation. This shift is perspective to help you stay motivated. There's something truly empowering about committing to a brighter future. As I close today, I wish to share a quote with you. A rose does not answer its enemies with words, but with beauty. I really love that sentiment. It perfectly captures what I'm talking about today. Avoid the drama. Don't get into heated words with others, and not letting ourselves get bothered by our own circumstances that are happening to us. Instead, we can focus on our beauty and how we can emerge from challenges, blooming like roses and thriving. I hope this discussion provides you with new insights on how to remain unbothered so that you can flourish in 2025. No matter what is happening around you or what worries you might have, try these techniques. I think they'll be helpful. I know they've been helpful to me. Staying unbothered is a practice. It's not about perfection. Some days negativity might seep in, and that's okay. The goal is to come back to your center again and again. If today's session resonated with you, hit that heart sign. Share this live and tag a friend who needs this message too. The video will be posted in our group and on YouTube and accessible to the public, so you can share it with anyone else who might need a little pick-me-up. If you want more tips on protecting your peace and living intentionally, direct message me, peace. I have lots of other ideas. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and remember, protect your peace, guard your energy, and stay unbothered. I'll see you next time. Please remember that I'm here for you, and I'm cheering you on. Goodbye.